welcome. We'll be doing 4 Mondays for yoga recovery. And, you know, the conversation, we had a workshop, Understanding Addiction. And so this conversation it's an open, ongoing dialogue about what addiction is beyond just the general understanding of chemical, substance, alcohol abuse. And really thinking of it in the broader terms of any thought or behavioral pattern where there is harm. You feel like you're doing harm to yourself and in your life, and you feel out of control, you know, usually coupled with isolation, obsession, compulsion, and a lot of characteristics that come with the experience of being in an active addiction. And so that category then opens up to what I just, you know, it's a human experience. So I think it's really an important conversation, and I'm really happy to be able to continue it with you all. Just gonna take these off. So with that being said, you know, and that could include, this is the perfect time of year for compulsive shoppers, anyone out there, you know, debting, compulsive shopping, spending, certainly social media, especially now with COVID, food, sex, love, pornography, all of these different aspects of how really just like our human need to connect, to fill a space inside of us for connection plays out in these ways where these compulsive behaviors that are really just like human needs. We need to spend money and make money. We need to be in relationship with the world. We need to eat. So these are bodily human experiences that get out of balance. And yoga helps bring us into balance. And I'll invite you all, if you want to adjust your seats, just take a comfortable shape or position. You can have your eyes open or closed. Maybe lengthen your spine. I invite you to open with a nice big sigh. So we'll inhale a breath. Just feel all the places your body is making contact with whatever is supporting you here right now, in this moment, in real time. Notice the placement of your hands. Are your hands comfortable? Just take a moment and scan your body and just notice what's going on in your body, whatever sensations. And I'll invite you to do all of this from a place of non-judgment. And notice your thoughts. And bring your awareness to the tip of your nose. And if you're not feeling like you can inhale through the nose today, that's totally cool. But if that is available to you, then inhaling through the nose, following your breath into the belly. And following your breath out. And just following your natural inhale and exhale to begin. And if you want to bring one hand to the low belly and one hand to your heart. Notice if that changes the way that you feel or connect to yourself. If you chose to do that, notice if that changes your breath. And I'll invite you to bring your breath into the low belly. And let your breath rise to your heart and upper chest. And as you're ready to exhale, just letting your exhale naturally happen. And again, come back to the rhythm of your breath. And I'll invite you to be curious and see if you can bring your breath into any new places and spaces, maybe filling out the waist a little bit, letting your breath rise, maybe your spine begins to lengthen. Maybe the shoulders begin to drop. Taking 2 more breaths at your own pace. And when you're complete with those breaths, if you'd like to bring one or both hands up to your heart, maybe one hand on top of the other. If you like to have your palms together, just notice the rhythm of your own heartbeat. Notice your breath. I just want to invite you to take a moment of gratitude for your showing up this evening and acknowledge our ability to be here in our bodies, how our bodies work for us, to do this life thing. And I'd like to acknowledge what a miracle this life thing really is. Like, we live in a body that's breathing and working for us. Pretty cool. And if you want to set an intention or have a dedication for this evening, I'd like to offer you a moment to offer that to yourself. And taking a breath into the heart. On the exhale, gently bringing the chin towards your chest, letting the shoulders settle, letting your hands come back to your legs or beside you, and gently rock your head from side to side. And gently lifting your gaze and softly opening your eyes and taking in your space and just noticing how you feel from just a couple minutes of checking in and breathing and centering. And we're going to do more practice, but I want to just read a little something and come back to this foundational, like the yamas and the niyamas, the part of the 8 limbs, Patanjali's 8 limbs of yoga. And I think just starting at the very basic, the first ahimsa, so non-harming or non-violence. And it really helped me when a teacher clarified that the non-harming was like, you're never gonna do this perfectly. You're never not gonna harm something. You breathe, there's bacteria in the air. Like everything is connected and affected. So it's to do our best in the moment with what we have and where we're at to cause the least harm. And that starts with ourselves. And one of the things that spoke most deeply and profoundly to me when I first came to yoga, and I came to yoga before I ever got into the 12-step recovery, was the language that my teacher used around self-care and self-love. And yoga was a practice of self-care and self-love. And that was not a language I had ever been introduced to. That was not a part of my vocabulary or my understanding, but it spoke to something so much deeper in me, my heart and my soul. And of course, the yoga, the physical asana was so much of what I needed along with the philosophy. So I'm just gonna read a little tiny bit because everything we do is invitational, right? Here in this environment, and that's always an option for you in any yoga class, but and in life. And I think that that's really important because I know as someone that's like has that perfectionism and that compulsion to do and never enough, and I'm not enough, and nothing is enough, and more is never enough. I have to be honest with myself. I'm hurting myself, right? And yoga is like, whoa, you can chill. So I like that this says nonviolence has many subtle implications as well, not just the physical violence. When we feel hurried, afraid, powerless, out of balance and harsh with ourselves, we may find ourselves speaking words of unkindness or even exploding. As our awareness of these nuances grows, we learn that our ability to be non-violent or non-harming to others is directly related to our ability to be non-harming within ourselves. So I'm going to stop there. And the reason I read that is not just because of how profound it is. It's literally in your practice. I just want you to listen to your body, because as we all kind of shared, it's like, I want to avoid everything and I need to be able to listen. So if something doesn't feel right for you, or you're like, I'm not feeling this, or it doesn't feel good in your body, you know, you're welcome to pause, stop, do something completely different. I'm just gonna move my chair back, and we'll do a little seated practice. And then I know it's good to get up and move around a little bit too. And so you're always welcome to turn your camera off. You're welcome to be laying down if you feel like laying down. So let's take a moment. I know we did a little centering. So let's just inhale the arms up and enjoy a stretch. And I'm gonna spread my palms really, really bright. I don't know if you can see that on camera, and get really, really bright and feel my feet on the earth. And then hook my thumbs and grow a little bit longer and make some space. So we're gonna inhale a breath and gently tip to your right, and feel some nice opening in the left body. And then inhale up to center and exhale to the left. Good. And inhale, gently come up to center. We're gonna exhale, turn to your right. And one hand can come at the thigh and one hand behind you or beside you. And inhale, lengthen, exhale, turn. And inhale takes us back to center. You can hook your thumbs and grow bright and tall again. And on the exhale, to the other side. Use that inhale to lengthen and exhale to turn. And we're going to inhale, come back to center. And exhale the arms down by the sides. And you can find a seated mountain. So we're going to gently bring the shoulders up and back and feel the energy of the shoulder blades hugging together, openness, hearts. And if you want to bring one hand to your heart, you can bring one hand to your heart. And you can have your eyes open or closed. Good. And just take a moment, take breath. Nice. And then bringing both hands to your lap. And we're going to gently inhale and bring the shoulders back. Exhale and gently round. And you can pause here and round and let your head release. And then we're going to slide the hands all the way down towards the feet and the earth, and maybe rest your chest on your thighs if that feels okay for you. And just go as far as feels okay for you. If you're seated and you want to just slide your hands out, you can gently shake your head yes and no. And then notice you might be able to breathe into your back body. We're going to use the next inhale to slowly curl up. Find a comfortable place for your hands. Eyes can be open or closed. And we'll interlace the palms. You can gently open your eyes if you like, or keep them closed. We're going to press the palms away and feel your back body just broadening. So you're pressing the palms away. Get a nice stretch in the hands. And then we're going to inhale the arms up again. And let them float down. We're going to take the right arm, right hand up and around, and gently follow your gaze. You can do that a couple of times, just maybe finding some opening. You can even take your left hand to that upper chest and collarbone area and kind of gently massage that. So it can get pretty tight on the computer. And then we'll pause. And you can shake it out, roll out your wrists, take a breath. And second side. So just nice and slow, listen to your body. This side might feel different. And you can always take your right hand to that collarbone area, That gets pretty tense at times. And gently, just kind of, you could do a little tapping or gentle massage. And then bring that arm down and shake it out and roll out your wrists. Right? All that phone work and computer work. Good. So you can have your hands beside you, or if you're on a chair, you can hold your chair. We're just going to extend the right leg and flex and point and flex. And I know these are really simple things, right? Like, but you could do this when you're taking a quick check-in break at work, even if you're working from home, and then lower that foot. We're going to inhale and try to like engage your core a little bit. So you can lengthen your spine, notice your breath, make sure your breath is not necessarily being held. And then you can roll out your ankle. Good. And we're going to bring that foot back to the earth. Nice. So I'm going to come off of my chair. You're welcome to join me in standing if you want. I'm just going to set this aside. And I think it'll be good to do some sun breaths to get the energy moving a little bit more. So you can have your feet about hips distance apart, and really solid, awesome thing to do when I'm like, you know, on the go. Even if I'm sitting still, I'm like probably going a million miles an hour. I just like feel whatever's touching the earth. If I'm standing, I'm like, okay, my feet are on the ground. So I'm going to invite you to just take a moment. Eyes can be open or closed. Inhale, breath. If you want to sigh, you can sigh. And bring your weight to your right foot. And breathe as low into the belly as you can. And just notice what that feels like. Maybe the shoulders can relax. And bring your weight to your left foot. And breathe as low into your belly as you can. And then bring the weight and kind of play from one foot to the other. And just notice your breath, and then find the weight even on both feet. You can gently open your eyes and find that mountain pose. Maybe the palms start to face forward, and notice what that feels like, the energy of this shape for you. Cool. And so we'll be gentle. I'll invite you to take a little bit of a bend in your knees, especially if your back is feeling sensitive. And we'll inhale, arms overhead. If you feel like bringing your gaze towards your hands, maybe the palms touch. And on the exhale, gently bowing. And if you feel like touching your shins or bringing your fingers to the earth, bend your knees as much as you like. And we'll gently shake your head out again. And head to center. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And press your feet down, lift your hips, exhale, bow. And we'll press into the feet, big inhale. And if you feel like lifting your gaze, palms touch. And exhale your hands back either to the sides, or if you feel like bringing your hands one over the other at your heart, or palms together. So important to remember that we have choices. So doing what feels right for you. So I'll invite you to go at your own pace, 2 more rounds. And if there's some other shape or movement you want to take, please offer that to yourself. And we're going to meet as you're ready. Take your time in that mountain pose. No rush. Beautiful. Nice. So we'll inhale the arms up. And we're going to take the left wrist over to the right. If you feel like lifting your gaze, just listen to what's happening in your neck. Maybe lift your gaze, feel your feet on the earth. Inhale, come up to center, right wrist over to the left, maybe lifting the gaze. So adding on a little movement with the neck since we've warmed up. Inhale, back to center, and exhale. Nice. We're gonna add an Utkatasan or chair pose. So we're gonna inhale the arms straight up and exhale, sit way back. So I invite you to feel your strength and your steadiness here and just find a gentle place to rest your gaze and notice your breath. And we'll bring the hands to heart center if that feels okay for you. And then pressing into the feet, inhale up, maybe lift the gaze as your arms come up to center. We're gonna clear some energy here, just let it all go. Nice, hands back to the heart. Nice, inhale up, clear it out. Hands back to the heart. Nice, and one more, inhale up, clear it out. Exhale, hands back to the heart. Cool. So we'll add on here, we'll release, inhale. Exhale, gently bow. We're gonna inhale and come up that nice strong chair pose. And if this ever feels like too much on your arms, you can bring hands to the heart or hands to your thighs. Cool. Nice. And press into your feet. Inhale up, maybe bringing the arms up. We're gonna exhale and gently bow. And we're gonna step the left leg back. So you can use a mat, you don't need a mat. But if you need something for your knee, offer that to yourself and just take a moment. So maybe you wanna be here and feel your steadiness, focusing on the breath. You can take it here or maybe hand to the knee. Maybe the arms come overhead. Nice. We're gonna gently touch the earth and bring that front foot back and come to hands and knees and take a child's pose. So I'm just gonna rest in this direction. So big toes touch, knees can be wide. You can extend your arms and rest your head. And let your hips settle and take a couple of breaths here. So this is a great pose to calm the mind. If you can let your forehead rest on your hands or the earth or a pillow. That's really helpful for calming the mind. And we'll inhale gently, come up to hands and knees and take your downward facing dog. So maybe shrugging the shoulders and letting your shoulder blades come together. And when you're ready, curl your toes and lift your hips. And you can bend one knee at a time and shift gently side to side. And then see if you can lengthen the crown of your head towards the earth just a little bit. And focus on your breath. We'll just take 2 more breaths here. And at the end of the exhale, stepping or walking towards the front edge of your mat. You can take that nice bend in the knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, bow. And gently shake your head, yes and no. We'll press into the feet. Big inhale up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, inhale. Exhale, gently bow. We're gonna step the right leg back and lower the knee. You can pause here, maybe gently focusing on the breath, focusing your gaze. You can bring one hand to the knee or both hands to the knee if you'd like. You can stay here or maybe gently inhaling up. Let the shoulders settle, feel the steadiness of breath. And exhale, touch the earth. And you can step back to that child's pose, or you can step back to a downward facing dog. Your choice. I'm going to take one more breath here. Press the earth away, get a little bit longer if you're in that down dog or if you're in that child's pose. Maybe just letting yourself settle a little bit more into that shape. We'll gently make our way back to the top of the mat. So, nice. And press into your feet. Big inhale, come up. And hands to the heart or a comfortable place for you. And gently release. Nice. So I'll invite you to take a wide stance for a little warrior two, another nice strong pose. So you can turn the back toes in a little bit so you feel comfortable in that back leg and hip. Maybe the front toes are pointing straight ahead. We'll take a moment. So you can keep your hands at your sides, or you can inhale the arms up, palms face the earth. Nice. And sometimes I like to flip my palms and press the thumbs back gently to hug those shoulder blades on the back. And then flip palms again. Inhaling a breath on the exhale, gently bending your knee right over your ankle. So this is a strong pose. And I've heard it said that yoga starts when you want to get out of the shape, out of the pose. So letting your breath help you be present with whatever arises. We're going to press into that front foot. Inhale, straighten, bring the hands down. You can kind of shake it out and just reverse your feet. So right toes in, left toes out. Nice. And again, we'll inhale, arms up about shoulder height. Flip your palms if you feel like getting that little bit more of an anchor on the back body and a little more opening across the front body. And then we're going to flip the palms down and gently bring that front knee over the ankle. Soft gaze just beyond the fingers or wherever you want to focus your eyes. So focusing your eyes helps to focus the mind. Another breath I like is inhaling through the nose and exhaling as if you're blowing out a candle. You can press into that front foot. Inhale, straighten your leg, let your arms come down, and then pivot your toes so they're facing straight ahead. Nice. So we're in like a wide standing shape. Good. And we're just going to inhale the arms up here. And get really long and tall and grow and feel like you're reaching. If you want to look up and get another little extra space, right? We're creating space. And then come down. And we're going to turn the heels in. And we're going to inhale up. And we're going to bend the knees. And we're going to bring one forearm to the thigh and extend. And inhale up and other forearm to the thigh. And extend. And inhale up and press into your feet, straighten your toes, bring the arms down and step together. Nice. So good to get a little bit of movement. I'm gonna grab my chair again so we can do some hip openers. So you're welcome to do these laying down. I'm gonna do them seated. So I'm gonna do ankle to knee, if you want to join. So if you're laying down, you just be laying on your back, and it's the exact same shape, that figure 4 shape, if you're comfortable with that. And so I'll invite you to flex the right toes, have your right ankle over your left knee. And if you're sitting on the floor, then you can have the bottom leg extended, if that feels okay. Cool. So taking a moment. You want to inhale, lengthen your spine, adjust your seat. I like to kind of shift back so I can lengthen. Nice. And those toes flexed are going to keep that knee protected. So you can stay here, see how this is feeling for you today. If you're laying down, you want to take your left leg towards you. If you're sitting and you want to begin to fold forward, you're welcome to do either of those. So just listen to your body. Sometimes I like to hold around or just let my arms dangle. Let my head dangle, kind of shimmy my shoulders if I'm in that seated forward fold. And if you're in that laying down forward fold, you may want to just notice if there's tension in the shoulders and bring the shoulders back. If you're in that seated forward fold, I invite you to start to walk yourself gently up. Nice. And then wherever you are, you can start to release that right leg, keeping the toes gently flexed to protect that knee. And we're going to hold behind the right thigh and extend. So if you're seated, you might be using a little bit more core. You're going to flex those toes. You can hold behind the knee or behind the thigh. Shoulders can gently draw back and breathe. Nice. And gently release and shake it out. And then we'll do the second side. So ankle, left ankle over the right knee. The side might feel different. You can gently flex your toes. We'll inhale, lengthen. So if you're laying down, again, just taking that shape, that figure four of the legs. And then we're going to gently fold if that feels okay for you. And again, just kind of notice if you want to shake your arms and shoulders out, breathe into where you feel an opening. We're gently going to curl up if you're in that seated shape. If you want to release, hold of your leg if you're laying down, and release both feet to the earth. And gently have your knees bent if you're in that laying down shape. Keep some pressure out of the back. Find a comfortable place for your hands. Maybe the eyes are softly focusing on something or closed, and notice your breath. Just noticing the effects of your yoga practice so far. Okay. So of course you're welcome to keep your eyes closed, or you can gently open. So if you're seated, I'll invite you to kind of scoot towards the front of your seat. And if you're laying down, we'll all take our feet a little bit wider than hips distance. And then we're just going to dip the knees to one side. So your upper body might turn if you're seated. That's okay. So we're just going to dip the knees to one side. Let your hands just relax. You can bring your gaze with you and gently take a couple of breaths. And if you're in that laying down shape, you might want to have your arms in a T. You could even hold opposite elbows overhead. And then we're going to gently inhale the knees back to center and exhale to the other side. You can let the arms travel with you, or you can keep your arms in that T or hold opposite elbows overhead. Take some breaths. And we'll gently inhale the knees and come back to center. And I'll invite you to have your knees still just a little bit wider than hips distance, and bring your knees together like a triangle shape. And just let your knees support each other. Nice. Good. Find a comfortable place for your hands. It can be maybe on your belly, or one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, or arms beside you. Really, whatever is comfortable for you. Notice your breath. Nice. Excelente. Good. And you can walk your feet together. So I want to just take a couple moments and offer if there's any shape or pose that you're feeling that you haven't gotten to have this evening for your body, and you're craving that or wanting that. You know your body best. So take a couple moments, a couple breaths, or if you just want or need some stillness. I'm gonna check my time. So just giving yourself a couple more breaths. Gently finish up and make your way to a comfortable shape for your Shavasana. So that's that beautiful final resting shape pose time. You can have anything comfy and cozy if you have that for yourself. If you like something under your head or under your knees, if you want to elevate the legs, if you have a chair or a couch, you're welcome to do that. And nice, or you're welcome to sit. So finding that comfortable shape for you, and we're going to take just a couple of moments. We're going to do a little gentle guided relaxation this evening. If you want to gently bring your head to one side, back to center, and to the other side. Gently back to center. And feel all the places that your body is touching, the earth, seat, cushion. We'll inhale, breath. Exhale, HJ. Maybe your eyes softly focus on something. We're allowing the eyelids to begin to gently close over your eyes. And if at any point in the practice you find that you're distracted by thoughts or sensations, feelings, that's natural. And gently come back to your breath. So the crown of your head, the top of your head, traveling down the sides to the ears, and the shoulders, and the elbows, the wrists, palms, and all of your fingers. Gently relax and notice your breath. And from the crown of your head, the back of your head and your neck, the tops of the shoulders, and the space between your shoulder blades, through your back body to the low back, hips, the backs of the legs, backs of the knees, to your heels. Gently release and notice your breath. And from the crown of your head to the center of your forehead, around the eyes, the eyelids. Notice space. Notice your breath. And down the sides of the jaws to your mouth. Let your tongue relax. Notice your breath. Into the front of the throat and the sides of the neck. In the center of the chest, your heart. Down the front body to the hips. Letting both arms and the palms and the fingers, both hips, both legs, ankles, feet, and toes all relax. And notice your breath. And so we're just gonna be in a little bit of quiet together. Remember your breath. I'll invite you to enjoy an inhale. Maybe your eyes stay soft or closed, and just notice gentle awakening. Nothing to do here, but be. So of course, you're welcome to stay laying down. If you want to begin to find some gentle movement of the fingers and toes, move and stretch however you like. And take your time. Make your way to a comfortable seat. And just find that gentle, comfortable seat as you're ready. Comfortable place for your hands. Wherever you are, I'd like to invite you to take a moment and notice the effects of your yoga practice this evening. And showing up for yourself. If you'd like to bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. I'd like to invite you to offer yourself gratitude. So I think it's very easy to forget how hard our body works for us. I even resent my body sometimes. So I think it's a very powerful practice to acknowledge and have gratitude for our body. So I'll invite, if that's comfortable for you or it's something new and you want to try it, taking a moment and say to yourself, thank you. Thank you for breath. And I also want to take a moment and again come back to this miracle of life that we are. It is so important to stay present to the miracle that we each are, and that we are together. And if you feel comfortable to bring both hands to your heart center, I'd like to invite you to gently join me in closing with a hum, if you'd like. So we'll inhale and breath. If you want to unmute, you can. I'll give you a moment. Okay. We'll inhale and breath. Into your own heart. Lifting the palms. Inhale. Lifting your head, your gaze. Thank you, everyone.